Usually what happens is dungeons or gates just start appearing out of nowhere. The author usually introduces this by just explaining the same concept that you're aware of for the 500th time. So you can just turn off your brain and read the story. And the problem is that they don't even change anything about it. It's the same thing word for word, letter for letter. Dungeons appear, monsters start attacking humanity, people with special powers emerge and learn their powers within 15 minutes. They just want to summarize and introduce you to the world with the same formula that's already been done and proven to be successful. It's an easy hook. A lot of people like the concept and just it's something to get easy reads. Either way, there's a protagonist, I'll just call him Yohyuk. No one really cares about him because he's F rank and he has just a few friends. Also, make sure that he has one female friend and make sure the relationship is platonic. And then somehow, somewhere, usually in a dungeon, he gets a very powerful skill. And the skill usually, like 9 times out of 10, is mentioned in the title. So you don't even need to think hard to figure out the skill. But when he gets the skill, he just takes it and keeps it a secret from everyone, including his family, his friends, and even that one female friend. But yeah, he just gets the skill and makes it a secret and just trains the skill by raiding dungeons. Most of the time, it actually depends, but sometimes it's illegal. He literally just goes into dungeons illegally. Or he just gets his rank assessed and somehow pretends to be low rank. But I don't even know how. By, I guess, reducing their powers or something. And during these dungeon raids, some randos, usually C rank, they raid the dungeon together and they see his power and they try to recruit him into their usually small guild. But then he refuses because he just doesn't want to be tied down by anything. But they will be friends and usually later on he'll be helping them. It'll be just like a side chapter. Also, each rank has their own stereotype. So F rank, we already established they'll be gone. After the protagonist gets out of F rank, that's it. You will literally meet more normal citizens with no powers more than F ranks. After F ranks, D ranks for the most part, sometimes not, they appear. They're also very unimportant. Maybe a couple female characters will be there, but most of the time not really. Maybe his old friends. But for the most part, D ranks are also very unimportant. B ranks are usually like 9 times out of 10 the villain's lackeys. There's rarely good B ranks. They only turn good when the protagonist actually becomes S rank. A ranks, for the most part, it's like 50-50. There's some good ones, some bad ones, and the bad ones are like they're responsible for the B rank villains. Same thing with S ranks, but S rank is most of the time all of them are lunatics, all of them are crazy. They're very, very competitive. Sometimes there's this one good S rank, and sometimes also there's like this one evil S rank. And usually the evil S rank is the one responsible for the A villains, but for the most part they're just crazy. The protagonist usually doesn't really make a guild until he gets to S rank. So when he gets to S rank, he usually makes a guild, recruits the people he met along the way. They also usually 3 to 5, sometimes 7 guilds, but they have to be an odd number. And I'm guessing it's to create competition, maybe. I don't know. When the protagonist creates the guilds, it's usually just very, very, very few people, and they're usually elites. And just because it's only made up of elites, the guild will climb very, very fast. Some large guilds are gonna notice him and is gonna try to destroy their guild, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, their guild gets wiped out. And when they get past the large guilds, they get to the top guilds, which, as I mentioned before, they're like 5 guilds or something like that. One guild will try to attack them and they'll fail horribly as usual, and the other guilds they'll try to compete instead of destroying. This will go on for a few chapters, maybe 10, 15, 20 chapters. Sometimes they'll milk it, but after the protagonist's guild gets high enough, the story will start transitioning from Korea to the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, there's only a handful of countries. It is Korea, Japan, China, US, and England specifically, not the UK, England. And maybe if the story just wants to add a little bit of spice here and there, they're gonna add Germany and also Saudi Arabia. They'll also have to have the stereotypes. For example, if the character is from either the US or the England, they're usually blonde, and there has to be one girl from either the US or the UK. Oh, sorry, not the UK, England. There has to be one girl who's blonde who is friends or attracted to the main character. And Japan either gets attacked by like a severe attack and gets like destroyed almost, and Korea comes in to save the day, or they're the villains. They try to attack Korea or they try to attack the main character. China is just there. They'll like most of the time have very strong guilds. There'll be a competition between China and Korea. And then basically now we basically reached the 60 or 50 chapter range where the author basically doesn't know what to do next because he used all the cliches. He used the formula word for word. He'll either try to find more cliches or the story will just be boring as shit and people will forget about it and leave it. Sometimes the story will be stretched out to the point that they might even reach the 80 chapter mark and then they wouldn't know what the hell to do. But anyway, please, if you're an author, don't write a story like this. Be unique. You know, stories like this, you know, they're fun, they're trash, they're like a guilty pleasure. But when there's too many of them, no one's gonna read them. You know, if you make a story like this, probably people will not read it. Unless you have some good ass art, or you're a known studio, or maybe you would have a unique aspect. But please don't write a story like this. Make it unique. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you.